whether the weather be fine, or whether the weather be not, whether the weather be cold, or whether the weather be hot. We'll weather the weather, whatever the weather, whether we like it or not.
Whether the weather be fine, or whether the weather be not,
Whether the weather be fine, or whether the weather be not,
we'll
whether the weather be
whatever the
cold,
weather,
or whether
we
the
like
weather
it or
be hot.
not.
We'll weather the weather, whatever the weather,
or
whether
whether
we
the
like it
weather
or
be
not.
not.
Whether the weather be fine, or whether the weather be hot.
We'll
Whether the weather be
whatever the
cold,
weather,
or whether the
we like
weather
it
be
or
hot.
not.
We'll weather the weather, whatever the weather, whether we like it or not.
Woo! Fun. Welcome. This is a Mother Goose Canon called Whatever the Weather, and it's got lots of weathers in it, as you can hear. So that was our fast version, just to show you how fun it is to sing it fast, even if we can do it, but it's still fun. And now we're going to slow it down and keep it slow for the remaining of this teaching video. We will teach it slow and then sing it in unison pretty slowly and sing it in canon slowly, but know that you can speed it up once you have it, and it is pretty fun. So here we go. I will teach you in repeat after me phrases, and Mr. Roberts will repeat. You sing what I sing. Okay, I'm going to sing this. It is a 3-part canon, and I'm going to split each phrase in half. So we'll be learning halves of each phrase. Here is the first phrase. Whether the weather be fine,
Whether the weather be fine,
or whether the weather be not.
or whether the weather be not.
Put that one together. Here's the whole first phrase. Whether the weather be fine, or whether the weather be not.
Whether the weather be fine, or whether the weather be not.
Second phrase, first half sounds like this. Whether the weather be cold,
Whether the weather be cold,
or whether the weather be hot.
or whether the weather be hot.
Put the second phrase together sounds like this. Whether the weather be cold, or whether the weather be hot.
Whether the weather be cold, or whether the weather be hot.
Good. We're almost there. But before we go on, let's put the first 2 phrases together, and you can repeat after me. So you hear them one more time, then repeat, and then we'll go on to learn the third phrase. Here's from the beginning, the first 2. Whether the weather be fine, or whether the weather be not. Whether the weather be cold, or whether the weather be hot.
Whether the weather be fine, or whether the weather be not. Whether the weather be cold, or whether the weather be hot.
Good job. I think you made it through the trickiest part of the lyrics. I only have this paper because I can't remember the words where the fine, not, cold, hot go. So maybe you can make up some little actions or something that help you remember the order of all those, Yeah, that could help. But here's the third phrase. It sounds like this. We'll weather the weather, whatever the weather.
We'll weather the weather, whatever the weather.
Whether we like it or not.
Whether we like it or not.
Together. We'll weather the weather, whatever the weather. Whether we like it or not.
We'll weather the weather, whatever the weather, whether we like it or not.
All right, great job. You've made it this far. Now we're going to sing it in unison. So if you need to, you can go back, review some parts of that, maybe catch up on some lyrics or the melody, but it's the lyrics for me. Sheesh, Mother Goose. All right, but we're going to sing it in unison now 2 times through. So here we go.
Whether the weather be fine, or whether the weather be not. Whether the weather be cold, or whether the weather be hot. We'll weather the weather, whatever the weather, whether we like it or not. Whether the weather be fine, or whether the weather be not. Whether the weather be cold, or whether the weather be hot. We'll weather the weather, whatever the weather, whether we like it or not.
and now we will sing it in canon. So Mr. Roberts will start the canon, and I will follow. This is, as I said earlier, it's a 3-part canon, so we will sing it in 2 parts, but if you have a big group and would like to split it up, you could add that 3rd part, or you could just sing in 1 part, keep it easy, or 2 if you want to sing with us, how we're doing it today. But let's do it 2 times through again.
Okay. Whether the weather be fine, or whether the weather be not, whether the weather be cold, or whether the weather be not, we'll weather the weather whatever the weather,
or
whether we like it or not.
We'll
Whether the weather be fine, or whether the weather be not, whether the weather be cold, or whether the weather be hot, we'll weather the weather whatever the weather,
or
whether we like it or not.
We'll weather the weather, whatever the weather, whether we like it or not. Another fun exercise I thought of would be go and spell that all out. Test of if you know your weathers and weathers.
There you go. Yikes.
Well, thanks for singing this canon with us today. We hope you had fun and see you again soon.